Hey there, welcome to Carcassonne. It's with versus Phosphate, a straight up duel for a playoff ticket because either one of them would win this one would leapfrog into the top 12 places, and there's no one left over here that could still catch them. Or just to illustrate that, 8-1 for Phosphate. And if I can manage to hit the button, I did. And he'd be in 11th place. And if it were the other way around, we would take the 10th place. So that is as simple as it could be. As for rating evolution, Phosphate's top rating in the 750s, started playing in 2024. Also an Azul Master, definitely a strong player. We've, on the other hand, had a few rounds around the block here. Started, I don't know when, top rating achieved a few weeks ago, albeit by playing with expansions and stuff like that. So I don't know what their ceiling in regular Carcassonne is, but might be 840, 850. I don't know. Currently at a 640. Are they the favorite today? I think so, albeit only slightly. So we'll see how this turns out. This doesn't look good, but it might just be interesting choice to go for this one. I definitely would have picked the one on the left side just to have options to restrict yellow's city without harassing mine. Yeah, about Phosphate's status. They had problems yesterday with their network connection, and therefore this match had to be rescheduled for today, which is definitely not ideal. As those of you who will see this later on will of course know, as I expect you to first watch the concurrently running match between the Pakshi and Hotly. I try to not spoil anything for those who are live here, and those who had no chance to watch the first game of Pakshi versus Hotly, that's already done. And also not to spoil the match for myself, because I'd like to watch that later as well. Although with these matches here still happening today, I might not get a chance to watch it today. We'll have to postpone and check it out on the weekend. In the end, Blue's situation here turned out beautifully, restricting Yellow's city in not just one, but two spaces. Also getting one of the daggers that Yellow would love to get here. And drawing one of the starting tiles, so it does look unlikely that Yellow will be able to complete this. Although if they'd get one of these daggers, and let's say the next 10 to 15 moves, they might still go for the city. This here, though, clearly indicates they don't mind creating ruin there, and if blue doesn't immediately kill, well, then at least it would be a nice setup for blue to score 5 extra points with a starting tile. So this forces blue to use the Dorito here instead of maybe like this to restrict another of yellow's meeples. But these monasteries are very valuable for yellow. They basically are the sole reason for their current lead on the virtual scoreboard. Blue tries to equalize. And yellow will extricate the road meeple there. Definitely didn't want to see this getting restricted to a starting tile now that the third one is gone as well. So currently roughly -10, but in the long run, blue should have the meeple majority, as this here is the only meeple that will be stuck definitely on its feature until game end. So creating a field would definitely be in blue's interest, and therefore this orientation might not be ideal. Having it set up like this to have options to increase the field over here might have been given them a tad more upside. Also, this attack, we'll see. There are still all right-handed daggers left, and in addition to the starting tile, there are 3 roses. So a restriction over here isn't that likely to happen, at least not with severe implications. And blue has to score some points. So going for the city, okay, I get it, but with the Dorito, that's always a bit iffy, because once you connect, then your opponent will at least get one chance to re-attack or harass the city. 1 dagger gone, 2 left. Might see this restriction now. Yellow definitely doesn't need to do anything for the monastery, as it shares these 2 squares with blue's monasteries. And unless this here is filled, yellow won't go here as well. So the restriction actually looks okay. On the other hand, would take away this attacking spot. Although, do you really mind if blue were to attack from the left there, if they already need a triple city tile over here? I don't think so. If blue wants to invest a meeple to gain effectively at most 7 points at them, this is interesting, giving yellow another option to attack the city if the square gets filled, not going for the restriction over here. Quick points for yellow in a very efficient manner. And what will blue do? I mean, if they want to go for the city with the penultimate dagger, they might need to close it, else this here will be rendered to a very likely ruin later, in some cases even killed with this dagger immediately. And they try to find other options, which get broken immediately. And might get harassed again. There aren't too many city plus road pieces left, so this here is quite significantly. Yellow could have even left this meeple on their bench, just to be sure and not get this one possibly restricted, because it was rather unlikely that blue were to claim this cap as long as the city was still healthy. And now it could get killed from the top with any curvy or double field side piece for that matter. And severely restricted with any city piece over here. The good news for blue is yellow would also endanger their city if they went here for the block. And with this closer score, it's tricky whether to execute the block immediately or to hope to close that city. But now that there's a platform already available to harass the city, I take my chances and rather kill this one at the bottom, making no prisoners there, and then go for the city. Yeah, this diverts some of blue's resources. Works as well. So Quad City is gone, and now they have their choice. Go for the city or try to defend this one, restricted to the one remaining horse, with the problem of restrictions up top being possible. The indirect defense works great actually. Now there's only one tile to kill this, and they could still opt to defend. Well, it's not even necessary. Works like a charm for blue here, and they still have caps to close the city on the right side, while the one over here is dead now. And with loads of Doritos still out there and an open city cap available for anyone to take, yellow opts to create another Dorito spot for them. Not sure the upside there is big enough to justify this one. They could have turned the cap to the right side just to claim it. But then this would have set up a possible 9-point field for blue. So we'd see. So blue closes their city, banks the game on getting stuff over there. But yellow immediately got the last remaining rows. So now this square is completely dead. And at -8, it will be tricky for blue. So there are caps to score quick points. There's still a monastery here. So maybe not giving yellow a chance to get this monk back easily could be a consideration. Else just take one of the open caps and they go for the restriction. Yeah, Seems fine. Another 5 quick points for yellow. Now at plus 12, and blue just gets a shoddy road. Quite likely will try to do something about yellow city. Any curvy here, and the city would be dead. There are no road Doritos and horses left, so we'll see this defense by yellow. Most likely, at least. Don't think it's worth going over here. This is way more impactful. And then blue will have to invest a farmer later to take this field and preempt a yellow farmer on the top right. Down 9 points. So rolling the dice on this city, I don't know. I don't like it. Only 2 city plus road tiles out there. Also not a great fan. I mean, sure, if you could kill this one, it's a nice job, but it was so unlikely with the tiles still out there. Going for a city here, an 8-pointer. Quite likely would have been the better idea. But at least they take this field, get another Dorito. So now there are only 2 tiles left. The remaining splitter and another field Dorito. Yeah. Tricky situation again. Blue could restrict this square to a 50-50, but they opt to score points. Don't get me wrong, they need the points. But they also might need to restrict this one, because it's rather unlikely to get the 3 remaining caps that are still in the deck, although yellow might use the splitter there. In this case, they should not, and just score 4 points plus 1 for the monastery over here, instead of a 7, a -6 at the top. With the exception being useful ways to employ the gain meeple. But at +7, just scoring these 5 might be enough. There aren't a lot of tiles out there. And yeah, not great for blue, but likely claiming, no, they only have the 1 meeple in hand. Damn it. So 2 points it is. And yellow even gets their perfect tile. How wonderful for them. So not claiming the 4-point city. Instead, they go for the 6-point field. And whoever Pinecone Big is, just let them play. I mean, at least the players have the chance to mute spectators, so it shouldn't be a big problem for them. Yeah, in the end, with the right risk at exactly the right time. Also not shying away from stuff like the straight here, knowing full well that blocks were available, but also knowing that phosphate didn't have the time or moves left to go for a kill here. Yeah, in the end, I'm not convinced Phosphate's handling of this city was ideal, especially the situation on the right side. To refresh our memory here, this dagger, instead of creating a new city, could have been used over here. And that might have been the better choice. But whatever happened in game 1 doesn't matter anymore. We are off to the races for the second one. Yeah. Restriction. If yellow allows us to do this, then if blue allows us to restrict their city to a dagger, while also killing all options of expanding this city any further, then we gladly take the mini battle and try to win it by expanding the road on the right side, while later using this city to setting up the kill here. Here we go. There is the threat. Blue should not care about this and indirectly defend over here in some way. They should address yellow city up top. In some cases, they could even later set up a takeover there. No. That is way too timid. Way too timid. They got saved by the deck by getting another chance at this attack. But I mean, it's 4 points, and if you go here, the city is even rather safe from attack anyway. Sure, in some cases, stuff like that might happen, but I mean, worse would have been this one. But still, I think go for the attack. Yeah, we could take this road, but there are already 2 squares to harass it. It's not ideal, especially not with only 2 starting tiles left in the deck. On the other hand, it's a 3-point road. It's a road, and you should use it productively if you are able to. So this works out quite okay for them. Setting up a loop up top, albeit a loop that could be problematic due to the presence of the city on the right side. Blue goes for breaking the loop, but I don't know why they didn't meeple this road here. Was unlikely to get obstructed from the bottom, because then yellow would have also endangered the road. Therefore, this here was a rather safe one, and they just donated these points to yellow. When they had 5 meeples in hand, so all these small misses and suboptimal moves, at least from my perspective, accumulate over time. And that's exactly why I think With has the edge here. We quite likely will even see a city meeple there just to not give blue a chance to snatch the city and close a quick 12, 14 pointer, whatever. Yep. Extend the live road. We can care about the other one later. Taking this one isn't really that necessary, especially not if there are still great options like scoring 3 quick points while restricting the monastery at the same time. Yeah, it's okay. Still 2 starting tiles left, so if blue closes their city here at the bottom, a restriction with the cow, for example, wouldn't be that problematic, but it's definitely not ideal. Some folks would even go for this one here and wait to take the cap later. So yellow city on the left, which was taken with the knowledge that it might be rendered to a ruin rather quickly, gets now broken by the quad city there. Now that it needs at least 5 tiles to be completed, it should end up as a ruin for sure. But if that scores enough points, that would be fine. Yellow is setting up a sneaky, interesting road here. Wanted to loop their road into this one. It did not work. But then blue went there. And now, as painful as it is, they might decide to defend this so that they at least have 3 straights left. If not, this here would be completely bringing all their plans to a grinding halt, limiting this square to the remaining starting tiles, possibly forcing this meeple into the square as well, as there's only 1 splitter left. And that's why blue bites the bullet, restricts both their city and this square. Lovely crossroads, just a move too late. But at least they pre-closed the road. Now I only need one of the 3 straights here. But of course, it's still close. Yellow's most promising asset actually is the field. And I don't know why blue had to drop the splitter on yellow's field. I mean, there was another one available over here, curbing this dilapidated road. Wasn't really that necessary. So trying to restrict this while scoring a few points, maybe just trying to set up options to attack it. But if it's a 6-point field, why do so? Why not try and create a field for yourself? Hey, Glovia. Okay, then I know how the other match turned out if you are here at this point in time. Yeah, again, another move by blue I don't like, and against with there is never the luxury of playing multiple of these suboptimal moves per game. Yeah. Now you only need to cross your fingers for other folks as well, right? So later on, for example, Gloria will root for Helge, as Bazilyuk would be able to take over Glovia. So in the end, I mean, I will take a look at the standings before the next match anyway. So I might as well spoil it now. The first game in the match between Pakshi and Hotly took roughly 25 minutes. So the second one was over, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes ago. And as Glovia was watching that match, and he's now turning up here, Pakshi has won 2-0. Unless someone or both of them have channeled their inner Irving G and bulleted out moves like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, exactly what Nalaheim says. There has to happen quite a lot still for Alexei to qualify, but we'll take a look after this match he has done. If we still have time before Helge and Bazilyuk start theirs, though. That's the one caveat I need to utter. So phosphate, meeples in hand, beautiful road monastery in hand. Nice spot over here, which would also set up another monastery spot, and there are still 3 in the deck. I mean, it's just too good not to take it. Oh yeah. Never forget about the wild pole MTU. No, 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 no. It's 3 points. If close 10, but 3 of these 10 go to this field. This is just too good to not take it, even if you risk your city getting killed. I don't like this. I mean, okay, now they will attack here, and maybe it works out for them. Maybe they even close their city now. I mean, they have the meeple majority and should have it in the long run, especially after killing Yellow's monastery up top. Well, Looks like they want to force me eating my words here. Just beautiful. But actually, they could have even taken the monastery there. If they want to go for it, why not? So now there are multiple options to attack the field. Yeah, even over here, even a unification of fields might be in the cards. So will yellow do something about it? For example, like taking away this option, which currently is the best to attack yellow's 15-point field. No, they even drop their last meeple as an insurance farmer. That is gutsy, but there are 2 Doritos left, and there are road ends left over here, and only 15 tiles. So 13 plus 2 in players' hands. So the chances to get a meeple back immediately aren't bad. A phosphate quite likely has to take away this option and might even meeple a monastery there, which would also set up another attacking possibility against this field. And yellow only has 1 curve to connect here. So no meeple on the monastery, but at least no chance for yellow to get their meeple back. And I missed the horse to close roads as well. So even 4 tiles to immediately close the road. So 6 to get a meeple back. But yellow is at plus 18. Are there any other options for blue to counter? They don't manage to attack the field. Well, there's at least the curve later to take away 4 points from yellow. So these cities -6, but +2 for the road. There are so many quick point tiles. Maybe not meepling these 2 points here might hurt later. At least the curve is gone, so this connection won't happen. The square is dead. And then it should be this attack. Monasteries over here, starting tile up there, 3 to connect, nothing to block. Yeah, that's just great. And it's a 15-point field. So connecting here is an 18-point, no, not an 18-point move. A 15-point move. Because this city would enter the main field as well. And -19 with 4 meeples in hand, plus guaranteed 6 points for the monastery. If they hit one of them, that is most likely a win for blue if they find this move. And they do. And it works. Now they only need to find the right indicator to meeple that monastery. And with the monastery on an already occupied field, it's not really that tricky. There's only one option to place a meeple there. And now the game is tied. Yellow has no meeples in hand. they only have one way to get a meeple back, and that would be the road Dorito at a cost of 2 points, plus maybe 3 if blue gets the starting tile over here to expand their field to incorporate this possible city later. There's an option to score 3 points for yellow there, but that should not matter. So blue still has 3 moves left. Taking this 1 point might be totally fine. They could even go for the field and the attack with their next move. Ideally with the road Dorito. Although if they get the road Dorito, it's game over anyway, so that doesn't really matter. Yeah, yellow takes it away and adds 2 caps, which could still add more points to their field. But even if yellow gets both, that would translate to 6 points for them. Yeah, blue claims 3. And should win the game no matter what. The most yellow could still score is over here, 3 points here, 2 points with the extender on the ruin, and phosphate might just take the 6-point field here. That should be enough, and it would even be better than claiming the 4 points. No, it's not better. Either they take the 6-point field with the rows later, or a 4-point city up top. So in total 8 instead of 6 points. Yeah, close one. Very, very crucial was this monastery blocking the road. And this second farmer, with all these quick points still out there, it's not as convincing to drop your last meeple when the city, the road could be restricted severely and you don't really have a lot of chances to get another meeple back. It almost worked out, and if yellow would have gotten the road closed or a Dorito way earlier, they might have still had a chance, especially by drawing all these caps. But now that all is said and done, at least for this game, this here was decisive as well. No matter what, we have a decider now, and the winner will reach the playoffs, while the loser will quite likely rue the missed chances in the first 2 games and maybe even missed chances in this one. We'll see. Red here, maybe from the right side, we have a chance to act against yellow's road as well. Yeah. A cow to indirectly defend usually isn't worth the investment. Yellow, nonetheless, still goes for it. So they hope to draw either a starting tile or the dagger before yellow gets anything to kill them, which is unlikely to happen. So 6 tiles for yellow as of now, but way more for blue. At least the perfect road end for yellow drops into their lap. Next indirect defense on the left side, this time though with better odds. But the city is dead nonetheless, and just in time for blue. Say 4-point road at the bottom. Harassing the square will have to wait. What does he really think about this one? I mean, looks just like connection problems. Or maybe not, whatever. Yeah, same move over here. Correct orientation, not giving easy road ends anyone. And now the restriction happens. 2 starting tiles left, but any road over here and it's dead. Yellow with a nice restriction as well, limiting blue city to the 2 remaining horses. And even if they get one, an immediate attack would be very likely to happen. Yeah, not a lot of straights out there to go for the greedy approach. So simply scoring the road might be it. On the other hand, they could go for this one, but then your opponent drawing straight and curvy in succession would be a rather annoying threat. So keep it simple, stupid, score the points, deal with something else. For example, this beautiful city attack. Yeah, yellow might now defend the monastery. Just in time, else blue quite likely would have killed it while also setting up the 3-point road for them to use. But where do you use this monastery now? With 4 meeples, not 4 meeples, 4 regular monasteries still out there. Take a look at this square here. It's just very juicy to set up this option. But without a meeple, I don't know. I mean, I get being a bit shy, not taking this one with only 2 meeples in hand. But points-wise, this monastery cluster here would have been just a great asset. So blue city now restricted to 2 daggers. But at least they were able to protect the city up top. Well, for a few seconds there. Now yellow attacks, and beautiful choice by blue, which renders this attack here not moot, but complicates the situation quite a lot. Because if yellow would have liked to play it safe, they needed a field Dorito first, else kills would happen over here. So gutsy move, at least forcing blue to kill this. Unless they get the perfect tile, which of course is the remaining splitter. They only hesitated here because the question was whether to meeple the field or not. And in this case, could have gone either way, but with 4 meeples in hand, why not add one there? One of the right-handed daggers in yellow's hands. Now only one remaining for blue. Blue also just equalizes yellow's city cap on the left side. They now have a slight lead. And it looks like they just want to protect it. But for this protection, they need this field to expand. And yellow might take away this expansion option. While they themselves have options to claim more cities. Okay, he goes for a new city, which seems fine as well. It also pads the monastery spot even more, which is in yellow's interest. They are the party that needs to go, at least right now, for volatility, as they are the one down at -7. Wrong dagger for blue. Also no option to claim in this spot, which would have been lovely to attack yellow's field. But yellow just took this away with the curve. Would have worked the same with this dagger, even better, leaving more straights to connect. Although the starting tile is still critical, it's basically an 8-point flip there. Yeah, will blue take these points, risking that this meeple here might get threatened, but possibly having the upside of taking this one over, although it's unlikely to be completed. So +10 quick points, totally fine. Yeah. Yellow pads their city even more, hoping to finally then get a cap to close it, else all these juicy Doritos don't do a lot. First monastery, and the attack by blue will happen here. And this looks like game over again. Yeah, blue could kill this square now. And that's not game over. Closing the city, adding in these two to yellow's fields, and it would be equal on the scoreboard. So this monastery is killed. Yellow takes 2 points. There's still an option for blue to connect to yellow's field, by the way. There are not a lot of ways to take this away. Basically only the remaining dagger. Yeah, nice move by yellow. So blue can only connect there with 2 straights or 2 curves. Blue needs to take the field now. Now yellow is down 16, and is there still anything for them which could work out? I don't think so. Even if they were able to take these 6 points away by attacking here and connecting, getting 12 is not enough to win the game. And then there's only the city to get a meeple back, and losing 4 points while getting this one back doesn't help them when there are so few tiles remaining. Hey Helge, I hope you're still on with bazilyuk. Start in a few minutes, because we'll be done by then, most likely at least. Just looks too good for blue here. And they even have 1 silver bullet in the deck left. Yeah. The only way yellow would still win this game is a lot of blunders by blue. Okay, blue silver bullet is gone, but should you connect though? Actually, you shouldn't. Yellow could still take over the field. Although, does it matter? Not really, right? Yellow already scores these points. So blue would only lose 6, even if yellow were to reconnect 6 from the score we had on the virtual scoreboard there. Yeah, so phosphate just ousted the Frenchman, secures a playoff ticket. And With might be fuming. Okay. Hager tries to support Alexei. Oh, well. Not sure about Bazilyuk's tiebreakers, but we'll see. Yeah, yellow goes for the surefire field attack, as there are only 2 curves left, so they will connect. At -20, it doesn't matter anymore. The field just is not worth enough. Yeah, congratulations to Phosphate. Even though I definitely can't concur with a few of their moves. In the end, they found the ones they absolutely had to execute. Yellow tried to go for the setups here. Just did not work. And, well, this early dead meeple might be the biggest reason why. So then it's off to Helge versus Bazilyuk. They should start any second now. Let's take a quick look at the standings. So for one, we have Phosphate at 7-6. If I remember correctly, leapfrogging Krishna. Yep, that's the case. And Tompa has no chance. So and these 12 folks here will reach the playoffs. The only question to be answered there is where will Guru end, and will Mikhail secure a round 16 spot, or will he have to go to the round of 24? That depends on Guru winning or losing. And then let's take a look at the Earth League. The protagonists who don't play are Gluvia and Alexei mostly, because MTU, Bazilyuk, Fox, and Horse could take them over with wins. The latter three would need to win 2-0 due to their insufficient opponent match win tiebreakers. MTU only needs a 2-1. And, well, that's the stage here. Bazilyuk needs to win 2-1. So let's check out whether he will be able to do that or not. Bazilyuk is not online yet. Okay, well then, he is online and he's playing now. Looks like Helge is a few seconds behind, because the delay should be at most 4 seconds. I actually could check. Let's check. This is one finger. Yeah, roughly 4 seconds. The opening tiles do favor Bazilyuk a bit here, getting caps and more caps, and also being the starting player. What is so far looks good for the Ukrainian. Helge meepling a safe road, setting up a monastery square. Yeah, no hesitation there. It's a shielded city tile. It's not easy to kill this immediately. If any restriction were to happen over here, the most annoying one quite likely would be a cow. But even then, in the end, it's 1 meeple out of 7. If you'd had to deal with it and build up a ruin, that's not a big issue. Nice threat by blue, attacking both of yellow's cities while also just ensuring against yellow getting tiles to close them in quick fashion by tackling the farm there. Nice threat by yellow here. Blue can't defend, but yellow can't execute the kill. And blue's monastery here controls yellow's road. And now yellow, well, has to decide whether it's worth defending this meeple. I don't think it is. There are still all daggers left. Going over here would be a mistake. This could lead to a kill. They don't continue their road, which would suggest they will just wait to get either a road monastery or a crossroads there. Now, though, you might opt for this one, hoping to get one of the 6 tiles that are still available to close the city immediately. And, well, blue attacks it, forces a reaction by yellow, and this one could be considered, but I guess they'll just drop a farmer. No, they do both. So they defend to get one of 4 horses there and place the farmer. And will they add another farmer? I mean, it would have been one which would need to wait quite some time to connect, as yellow would need to close the city first. So maybe it doesn't even make sense to drop a farmer, because you could drop it once you close the city. On the other hand, the chance might be gone by then, as blue might connect here to pressure the square more. So maybe dropping the farmer just to take away this option from blue's arsenal should have been at least a worthy idea. Oh, you see. In the end, this possible 15-point field, well, I would expect it to even yield more points later on. Seems to be, or could very well be, the decisive factor in the end. Yeah. So Glovia would have liked this farmer, and with 3 meeples in hand, I would be trending to farm there as well, just to be efficient and take away this option from blue. Because in some cases, I mean, blue has a city over here, so they have a good use for Rotoritos. But if that weren't the case, a Rotorito over here would be pretty annoying to deal with for yellow. Yeah, just in time, blue gets to close their city, tries to equalize yellows. Looks all fine. Still enough curves left for blue over here. This square is now shared. Not a problem for blue anymore. Before yellow's monastery it was, as there's only 1 dagger left, so this could have been restricted to a 50-50 quite easily. Well, what do we do now? play against this city. Try to harass the monasteries up top, but again, there are still 3 daggers left. Okay, they opt to attack the field. Blue, without a blinking an eye, takes this one. Even the worst of restrictions would still give them 3 outs, at least for this square. And therefore, this is annoying. Yellow will pounce by any means possible to restrict this to the one and only remaining right-handed dagger. But blue gets the monk back with this beautiful Rotorito just in time. Also now having way more caps to close the city again because the dagger to close it flipped. And Helge takes over the field on the bottom, for now at least. Blue threatens this city, and well, Helge can't deal with it, should not deal with it now. He has this city. And the only question is, do you drop another farmer? And I don't think so, with only 2 in hand. And not the best of chances to get meeples back, although Adorito would take care of this one. I mean, this basically secures the bottom field, but if it ends up being worth only 15 points, the third one was too much, and only having 1 meeple in hand quite surely will hurt in the long run. So I think Helge needs to go for stuff like that, scoring points, leaving this cap here to pad the field. Can't attack the city now. He could take 3 points up top, but I mean, these are 3 points as well. Oh, taking into account the one going to the monastery. This might be an alternative, trying to take over this city, and if it doesn't work, at least having another city on your field. But I would actually like to see this here, and looks like he concurs. The usual road restriction over here isn't really that potent, with a lot of crossroads still in the deck. And now finally yellow was able to set up the field, the city attack, but just tad too late. Blue got their Dorito and is now at +5 with all the meeples in the world in hand. And they don't even need to care about this field as of now. Just claiming side fields, investing the meeples wisely, taking away city caps from yellow in some instances, restricting the fields a bit more over here might just be enough in the long run for blue. Yeah, Glovia criticizes blue helping yellow there by whatever. Adding these two to get the monastery meeple back. On the other hand, yellow still needs 3 tiles to go there. Yeah, this is the risk I'm talking about. That is what yellow has to do. They need to squeeze all the points they can get out of this situation. And about this third farmer, sure, it works. It ensures the field here for you. But again, right now it's at 12 points. That is not enough to support 2 surplus farmers. And forcing, baiting, whatever you want to call it, blue to drop a second farmer could have allowed you to do other stuff in the meantime and later take the field over, and would have definitely taken away 1 meeple from blue. Whereas now they claimed this 6-point field, which could easily grow to 12. And then it's 3 versus 2 farmers scoring the same points. Yeah, only 1 meeple in hand. And blue even takes over the city for now. Talking about field growth, yellow should have at least considered this option. To expand the field, and in some cases, even unite the fields. Take away blue's field here, forcing blue to add another farmer somewhere. But yellow still has their chances. Close the loop road, dropped another cap into their field. They will now attack blue's road. Only need 2 curves or crossroad over here, preferably to get the monk back. But meanwhile, blue closed an 8-point city of their own, now leading by 7 points and having an open cap on their field as well, which yellow will now kill. At least I'd expect them to go for it. Doesn't matter whether you kill the monastery or not. You have the meeple in hand. You have an option to get one back. But restricting the square to crossroads definitely bodes well for blue's chances in this game. Yeah, and Helge just gets a shoddy cow. And normally I'd say the best use would be to curb blue's field here, not allowing stuff like this one. But when you're down 7 and basically out of options, might need to attack this 9-point field. I'm not so sure, and this is an okay move at least, preventing the city from being closed there, even if it might give 2 points to blue if they happen to get the remaining cow and can't find a better move with it, which is with quick points tiles still out there, and cities and fields to take, rather unlikely. Yeah. How to drop this cap on yellow's fields to score the 7 points with the twin caps? Well, over here, definitely not. Looks like, yeah, maybe there, setting up another 3-pointer. Although bazilyuk is starting player, so there are only 2 moves left for Helge. And these 7 points just aren't enough. So he'll just lose the game. Unless he finds some miraculous combination to attack this field, and no, even that doesn't work. -13, so attacking the field would grant 9, adding a cap here, 7, that's 16, and pretty convinced that blue would score 4 points with 3 moves. Yeah, shame. And this road monastery here could have blown up the situation completely. Just add it over here, and we would have a wide open corridor to connect in these fields here. Yeah, the monastery move was the key. Not just big, I think. Just the key. I would expect them not to take a long break, but let's take a quick look at this monastery move again. And quite definitely, I take a look later on as well. And what was it? 88? 87? No, 97, 98. Yeah, down 9. At worst, okay, not at worst, but if this connection here doesn't happen, at least you'd have the chance to add 2 more cities onto your field. And if the connection happens, well, it would depend on getting a meeples back. And in this case, and it's rather easy to get this one back versus difficult for blue to get the city closed. Both sides might have been stuck with 2 meeples on the board, but then yellow already had 3 meeples on the field. So blue would have been the party to attack a possibly shared field. So yeah, this one was a huge oversight, miss, blunder, whatever you want to call it. I mean, blunder might be a bit too harsh. There are reasons why Helge took 2 points, but at this point in time with the meeple situation, he might have been, quite likely, would have been better served by just trying to roll the dice on a huge field. At least that would have been a clear-cut winning condition. So we'll see an early farmer here. We don't. Okay, he prefers to take the cap. doesn't mind a restriction over here. Will blue take the farm? They will. If yellow punts, then we don't have any problem taking it immediately. So do you go for the road or do you go for the monastery with the chance to maybe later claim the road? I'd be greedy. Yeah, good question. Why are we stacking over here and not over there when Blue City is already in place? I mean, against a city cap, 2 monasteries would always be the better side. If it were a Dorito, so basically Ukraine monasteries, the situation changes by quite a lot. But with a city cap, this stack should have been a vertical one. Yeah, and now blue runs away with their snake over here. Whoa. 4 tiles to kill yellow's position. He has to connect. I mean, if yellow manages to somehow tie the road, all this here would be quite profitable, but the way of doing things here definitely is reckless, for lack of a better word. I don't think he listens, Lovia. Else, we would have seen a few different moves by now. Oh, this was his last meeple. Oh, wow. Yeah, right. He attacked over there. Totally neglected that one. And he has this iffy square. This iffy square. And this square was iffy as well. Great draws for blue. Getting 2 vanillas in a row, leaving only 2 outs for yellow's city 2 monastery combination here. And there's also this thread. 2 daggers of the right-handed variety are already gone. But Helge gets to save this city, and I drop a farmer. Just draw a vanilla later, and you should have a chance to fight for the field. And if not, in some cases, the 6, maybe 9-point field stays in your possession until the end of the game, because once blue closes their city, there might be options to restrict/kill this square. Yeah, blue immediately drops a second farmer. That's, of course, the correct answer here. Yellow pads their field. Blue might add a third farmer even, which in this case is totally fine because the field is just worth a way more and has a way better potential than Helge's field in the bottom left corner in the first game. Else, blue could close this city and drop a farmer there. The problem with this move is exactly this connection here, because either you close the city and endanger this connection, or you connect, take away yellow's field, and then might endanger your city. So blue goes for another option, indirectly adding this cap onto the field if something lands there. For now, they take away curves to go here, which in this case, with these tiles remaining, would have been the maybe even ideal continuation for yellow there, although monastery plus any road piece would have worked as well. This here, though, threatens a significant roadblock, and that is any curvy from the top killing these two monasteries. And now yellow goes for the restriction here. And that is exactly what they should do. Mind you, they could have used this to connect to Blue City. But that's just a 4-point move. Securing the field might just be worth it. So Glovia would have liked this monastery to be placed over here. Maybe, but then you don't have the option to kill them. Let's see. If blue manages to take over yellow's field, all's fine and dandy for them. But if not, then yellow will win the game, no matter whether they get the vanilla or not. And they still have 2 cows to connect there, by the way. Yellow had which connection exactly and when? Just enlighten me, G, please. The cow. Yeah, sure, they had. But I think securing your field up top is worth more than this connection. So I totally get their move, and I actually have to applaud such a gutsy one here. Yeah, but nonetheless, the monastery was fine. There are still 2 options to connect there. And the port city was already gone, so this one here would be annoying. Blue closes the city, yellow takes 2 points, and the vanilla hits. Blue attacks yellow's field up top. Now yellow is at plus 20. The field is worth 12, but if blue unites here, they'd gain exactly these 6 points, but then yellow could connect there, and in the end, 2 connections here would just take away 12 points from yellow, and they should be able to win this one fieldless. Another cow in blue's hands. This situation is still not resolved, as blue still would like to connect here, so they can't willy-nilly just close the city there, even if it adds points to their field as well. Sorry, G. This was yellow's monastery you were talking about. Yeah, this one here was way earlier, right? I mixed up the players. Yeah. So then, of course, yellow monastery over here, without the meeple, quite likely. Might have been the better choice than this option. So, field takeover completed, achievement unlocked. Yellow only at a plus 8, but they have 6-point moves available to them. For now, scoring 3, restricting the field should be it. I don't see the need to go for the field, and they also have this hot iron here, which might very well be closed, although that would also restrict this square here. Yeah, now blue finally was able to close this city. Plus 5. After scoring another 2 points, it'll be plus 7. And the field pretty much is under control. If they only take their 2 points here, there aren't great options left for blue to pad the field. And it's still about this square then. There's still 1 cow left to score 4 points for yellow, and maybe even 7 with the field. Yeah. Blue tries to equalize yellow city up top, at least takes away chances to complete it in an easy fashion. And for yellow, this here is a no-brainer, restricting the connection, taking away 6 points from blue. But blue got a cap in hand, threatening another 6-point move with another cap. Yellow claims 5, pushing their lead to 15. 14 now. This square is now dead. But yellow with another quick point tile. Will they use it to score quick points, though, when they also have a 5-point move available. No, they will score quick points. They only have the 1 meeple in hand. Yeah, right spot. Although not the right spot, this here would be it. There's nothing to go there. The daggers are gone, so no problem over there. Last connection piece for blue gone. And the 7-pointer here should seal the deal. But yellow doesn't go for the road. At plus 15, it's a 6-point road. They should do that now. I don't think there's much else. Plus 15 plus 6 is 21, and blue only has 2 moves left. So they have to do Harry Potter level stuff to win this game. Yeah, but Helge takes his time, thinks about the situation, and in the end, it's pretty easy. Just take the road, be done with it. And this win then ousts Bazilyuk from the Champions League, as his opponent match win tiebreaker won't be good enough to catch Alexei or Glovia, even if he manages to win the decider. It won't work. Yeah, as shoddy as this early build-up was, in the end it worked for yellow. I mean, 25 points with monasteries, plus an 8-point city. Surely nice, while blue only got some compensation by getting this road and, of course, the field. But only 7 points in the end. Riding a razor's edge here. But yeah, this move, definitely kudos to Helge for at least trying this one. If they hadn't and had connected here, well then the threat of blue taking over the city and closing it would have been there. So that's another reason not to connect. Did they say anything about a break? Helge needs a break. Well, And here we go. Last game for these two in this Champions League season. As far as I can gather from the standings, no implications anymore regarding playoffs. Although, let's check. No, MTU doesn't need the opponent match win from bazilyuk. And win for Helge would maybe help Tito, but I don't think it matters. No, doesn't look like it would matter for Tito. So in the end, it's just for honor and a bit of fun here. Let's hope they fight tooth and nail again. Well, MTU, let's just address the standings later. Because you just need to win no matter what. So shouldn't care about anything else but winning against Tito it is, right? Yeah, Tito it is. And that won't be easy. And hopefully another high level and very interesting match with high stakes, at least for one of these players. No, for Tito as well. He could still secure a top 4 finish. Meanwhile, stuff happened. I don't know. I would have rather gone here. Try to kill this for a 1-point gain. Yeah, yellow tries the dagger restriction here as well. And they need just 2 more tiles to threaten both these squares to the same dagger. And they should take care of this road, else blue will claim it later. For now, they go for this road. It wouldn't have surprised me if blue had closed this road here now. One dagger falling into yellow's lap, and they were able to close. Really? You still had this option to block the road connection, and you have the city here. Okay. Might have used this rose more conservatively, just to get the meeple back and deal with the road later. I'm pretty sure I would have. Just the threat of getting restricted to the same dagger here would have swayed me to simply score these points and get the meeple back. Yeah, quad crossroads is gone. There's no alternative. Unless you are fine with losing this meeple. I don't like this, as you might have guessed. Yeah, a second dagger for yellow. Will they try to take over the city completely? Why not, with 3 meeples in hand and still 4 triple cities and the quad city to go. Okay, they take the field. Yeah, less volatility. And not an easy choice for blue now. That seems fine. Taking away restrictions to a crossroads. Yeah, that's fine. Not protecting over here now that you've chosen to sacrifice this if necessary, and you'd rather create this option. And yellow gets rewarded for gutsy stuff by getting this vanilla to attack blue's city. So blue's most promising feature very likely will be just equalized by yellow, and then it's only worth 3 points to yellow's farmer. And with 1 meeple in hand, or even does stuff like that, which works nicely, not just to set up a loop road, but also restricting blue's 4-point road there. Nice one here. Blue threatening to at least take over the road if this city gets killed, and then these 6 dead meeples would at least grant blue a major win there, scoring a lot more points for their side of the road than these 2 over here. Yeah, what to do if you're yellow? This is problematic as it gives double Dorito options to blue. This isn't great as well. Yeah, so threatening the road seems to be a good idea. Although you need a triple city or Dorito tile here to kill them, else you'd set up, or could set up in some cases, the road monastery spot, which you don't want to do. And Blue would have no qualms at all to score these 4 points. Also very juicy monastery spot over there. But at least yellow gets 2 of these curves in succession, which blue would love to get there. Okay, this works out as well, but there's only 1 straight left. Yeah, and that is the problem now. Yellow didn't try to get this meeple back ASAP. They went up top. Now they only have the 1 meeple in hand to claim this monastery, but at least they have 2 Dorito setups to get a meeple back and immediately hit one of them. So perfect timing, but also perfect timing for blue, getting the remaining straight to claim this meeple. They might drop a farmer. This is a field that could still expand. And why on the right side? Yeah, this is not connected. Over here is way better, of course. Then you have the curves to connect there. Yeah, problem for yellow now is they can't equalize here. For one, they only have the 1 meeple in hand, and this tile just doesn't allow it. This here should wait for another Dorito to hit, and then they should meeple the farm. So 2 quick points might be on their menu now. Maybe over here, taking away later options to attack the field this way. Although the problem is that blue could double down on this curve attack anyway. Well, for now, they have a quick point tile in hand. Yeah. Also not ideal. But usually setting up a monastery completion with another monastery, at least a worthy consideration. And this here allows other stuff like restrictions to the curve. Would be iffy to add a farmer there for blue, as they already need a curve here. There are only 2 in the deck. But we don't have to care about that situation. Yellow just gets another monastery, gets the precious, precious second meeple back. Blue takes the 9-point field with still a shot to merge into the main field, or rather blue's side of the main field. And yellow takes the field on the right side, but I am not convinced by this caps rotation. Blue has options to drop caps on their field. So maybe having this flip here for either blue to get 1 point or yellow to score the cap on their field for 7 would be worth it. Score is close, so the next sizable feature being scored could be enough. So for example, if yellow manages to close this city, for now it would actually help blue a tad more, as it's not yet on yellow's field. In some cases, not in the current one, blue could even consider this here, but that connection square is way too easily killed and there are way too few options to connect still in a deck. Yeah, yellow can't go here as they'd relinquish this road, and gaining these 3 points from blue's farmer doesn't cut it, especially not when there is still the road monastery left. So this here is totally fine. Going for the kill here. And in this case, it works perfectly. Just taking 3 points while removing one big threat, although with only one curve left. The severeness of this threat was diminished quite significantly already. This here is a setup for blue to attack the field. They don't act, which would suggest that they'd rather attack with a city plus road tile. But yellow takes away that chance. There are still options to connect over here, and as of now, even unblockable ones. But with this curve now, blue might go there. The problem then is they had effectively set up the flip for the dagger, and the dagger would be a game-winning move for yellow. They'd connect to the road and could snatch the 6-point field. Blue goes here. This will be killed, most likely. There's no vanilla left, no field Dorito left, no splitter left. And just to be safe, yellow should meeple the left cap. Else, they'd have given blue a chance there. Blue could still try for a connection over here. Is there anything else? Hmm. I don't think so. Yeah, there is something else, of course, and that would be setting up a road monastery attack, but I don't see why that would be better than this one, as you need the road monastery here to connect anyway. One problem might be this option here, but I don't think it's better for yellow than to take the field up top. I think you are a tad behind, Kyrillo. And ninja. Yeah, okay. So you're talking not about a curve, but about this one here. Yeah, and then you have the two curvies to connect. Yep. So Kyrillo is right, bazilyuk and I are wrong. Because there's nothing to go into this square, and blue would have had a shot at connecting there with one of these two pieces, and especially noteworthy with the dagger, which they need anyway. One block? Oh, God. Yeah, one block. One block, of course, one block. And the block would have been worth it, saving 15 points. Plus giving a 4 on top of that. Oof. Thanks, Devaka. I should pack it in. Not just 2 to connect here, but the third one, the road monastery as well. I'm so glad to get a break after this one. But Helge gets the road monastery and wins the game. Yeah, so then if bazilyuk had found his option, it would have been a 11 and 12 shot to win the game, right? Because Helge would need to draw the dagger and then the road monastery. Is that correct? Okay. So if he goes over here, he connects with either of the curvies, these two, or with the road monastery the other way around. Yeah, so anything I miss here? I don't think so. That's even a 1 in 24 because, no, it's not a 1 in 24. If Helge gets this dagger, then it doesn't matter whether Bazilyuk draws Road Monastery or Dorito. Helge just needs to get the Road Monastery later. And if he gets the Road Monastery now, then Bazilyuk would need to draw the regular monastery. And then, of course, Helge would need to get the dagger afterwards. Is that correct? I think so. Yeah, so that would have been... I have the tools. Let's use them. Which permutations would lead to a win? So yellow getting dagger and Road Monastery. Yellow getting Road Monastery and dagger. Is this a 13-point move, Nicola? Then maybe yes. The farm is worth 15. And Helge's at +4. Then all permutations with Helge getting the dagger would win the game. So let's check. Equalizing this road would net 8 points to Helge, 6 for the field. That's 14. Minus 3 for blue. That's 11. 11 is not enough when you are up by 4, because that's 15, which is the worth of the field. But giving this meeple back would then ensure a win for blue if they manage to connect and score 3 more points with the road. Unless my calculations are incorrect, I think they had to go for this restriction. Okay, Nicola. No, these are definitely not too many permutations. Blue just needs the connection here, and they have 3 tiles to connect. So if they happen to get one of them, it's totally fine for them. And this is a win for blue. This is a win for blue. Basically, all these in this position are wins for blue. This is a win for blue. This is also a win for blue. This is a win for blue. Monastery over here is a win for blue in all permutations. Monastery in the last spot is also a win. This would be another yellow win. And this is a win for blue. This as well. And this is another win for blue. And this as well. So we have 3 out of 24. And therefore, this was an 87.5% chance for blue to win the game, if I'm not mistaken somehow. But they didn't go for it, so let's do what Kyrillo would like me to do. Figure out whether this one here would lead to a better outcome. No, no, no. No what? And tell me what you want. I still have 5 minutes. Then I'll sign off. You wanted to see whether going over here would have led to a win for blue or what? With the actual permutation that happened in the game, that would have been a blue win. Because he would have attacked, yellow was not able to defend, and blue would have connected. The question then would have been whether yellow had a chance to re-attack. Is that what you'd like? So blue attacks here and then has these 3 options to connect, but blue is down 4 points. So yellow only has to find their option to re-attack. And there are several ones. So either they go over here to go for the curvy move, or they should go for the monastery, which they could do over here, for example. And given yellow has a good use for the dagger, although not without the meeple in hand. But even then, even without a meeple, this move might be worth it. I think they would have gone over here and they got the road monastery and would have won the game nonetheless. Yeah, so this here isn't an 87.5% chance because yellow still had options to re-attack. Okay, not sure what Kirlo is going on about, but doesn't matter to me. I'll be live with Posey Lapatori, where Lapatori has no chance at all, but Posey still fights for his place in the standings. He still has a shot to get a top 4 spot here with the win. So if you care for that, I'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.